everyone in the audience. Hello, guys. So let's start. Myself, I am Inga Langaitė, Unicorns Lithuania, Association of Lithuanian Startups, currently joining 108 startups from Lithuania. And please, some short introduction from you.
Hi everyone, I'm Pijus and I'm a founder of Furniture One, and we are a multi-brand online retailer working in several European countries.
Hi everyone, Justas Malinauskas, co-founder and CEO at Whatagraph, marketing, reporting platform turning into data analytics platform currently, and happy to see you.
Hi everyone, I'm Darius Žakaitis, founder of Tech City. We are on a mission to build the biggest tech hub in Europe, in Vilnius.
Super. So let's talk about challenges. So you as a startup founders, you should love challenges, right? By nature. But it seems that nowadays might be too many of them, like financial crisis, war in Ukraine, cost of the money, etc., etc. How do you see it? How is it in Lithuania?
Yeah, I guess in our case, we're also affected of many different factors that you mentioned. But what we also feel is also a lot of opportunities are arising. So not sure what about, let's say, when it comes to you guys.
I think in our case, we also feel a lot of, I think not the problems affected, but it's more about uncertainties in the markets, and people feel uncertain, and then the decision making is getting longer. People are making more sure that they're buying the right product in our case. But also we are trying to use also that as an opportunity, and we have larger competitors who are selling more expensive, and we're entering the market in data analytics space. So for us, it's still a good entry point. And I think using that uncertainty times is very good to question if it's the right provider or not, which they currently have. And I think we can come with a better stack. But of course, we're trying to prepare for that and use that as an opportunity rather than waiting for better times.
Darius.
We probably were hit most, and all the problem what you and difficulties what you mentioned, we get all of them. But what you can do, it is life, and you still need to work on your mission and on your goals. And I don't know, we and our team, we think what it's bad times or good times, they're changing, and I hope we will survive and go through working hard.
But I guess this is not the first crisis for you. I mean,
during my career, it is not first time crisis. And I always was telling, crisis is like 2008 lemon, and before .com 2000, I remember perfectly, and I was very, very confident that we will survive. But this time it's a really complex issue with when it starts from the COVID and now continuing with this inflation and prices of resources and things like that, and war in Ukraine. So so I changed my mind. It's a new experience for me to be in such difficult circumstances for almost 4 years, but you see, I'm still alive and happy. Did a gym this morning, and let's move forward. What we can do? It's only one way. Get up early in the morning, do exercises, and move forward. And that's all. This is simple advice.
I think that's Lithuanian spirit, actually.
Be in good shape. Be in good shape, and you will survive somehow. Of course, mission and a purpose is also very important, because when you have your dream and you know where you're going and what it's helps you. But so.
But talking about Lithuanian spirit, we see a lot of layoffs somewhere else in Silicon Valley, in UK, and etc. We see that some even unicorns bankrupt, right? But we haven't seen that in Lithuania that much. Did you lay off? Did you say goodbye to your employees, to some of your employees?
Yeah, so in our case, we had some optimizations within the teams. So you can call it also, so we called it also as a layoff a bit, but they were not that much related to that. It's more about still understanding how to run a business in a dynamic, basically, environment. And I think it's better to prepare a bit in advance rather than prepare when you are not prepared. And I think, as you said about training, I think it's also very much important. You always prepare for the marathon, some days in advance. So I think in our case, it was more understanding how the business is working and which parts are, have potential to grow and which are, let's say, in the past. So in our case, we were transitioning more into, as a business also maturing and also transitioning into bigger opportunities. And I think in our case, as we're still a small company, I think it's a very good time to really, tighten up and proceed into other markets when big companies in that markets are actually thinking what they need to do, and they need to think about huge layoffs maybe. And I think that's a very good opportunity. So always you need to be, cautious about yourself. And I think what we see in the other countries, I think they haven't thought a bit in advance, and they were hit with the wall, I think, which we all felt, as you said, wars keep on going. Summer came, first summer, proper summer after the COVID, I think, and people want to relax. They don't want to buy new software or something. So money is getting more expensive. So you hit that wall at the same day, and everyone got that hit. And very much important, how you were prepared before that. And I think it's also, I think everything's related. So it depends if you're optimizing or if you're laying off because to survive. So I think in our case it was a bit different, but yeah, I think in the other countries we see a lot of survival layoffs. So I think that's the biggest problem.
So why was it? Why was it?
Yeah, I think in our case it was also the same because, yeah, we have downscaled in several verticals in the businesses, but it was not that really connected with, let's say, all the macroeconomic environment, but more as a business decision. And I think you had a really good point about the marathon. So I think for us it's important to understand that we're not running sprints, and let's say for us it's not that important. And we understand that all the background is not perfect, and let's say this year might be not the greatest one, or we might not see the growth which we used to see for the last several years. But I think we're running marathon, and we know that they're going to be uphill and downhill and so on. But our goal is to not to have a great 2023. Our goal is to be in a game in 10 years.
Yeah.
So I think with this approach, you take very different decisions.
And I got very good advice quite recently. So when you can't forecast that much, because now it's very hard to forecast still. We don't know what's going to happen. And when you can't set really strong goals, build systems. So when you build the systems, they enable you to achieve the goals eventually, and be really adjusted to the situation. So I think that's very much important. What we are trying to follow within our company, build really working systems when you know what's going to happen in every situation.
So Justas, you already mentioned that planning somehow changed, right? Because you plan for shorter time ahead, right?
I think you do both, short and long time.
Okay.
And then you have, so the planning is not one line which you do, I think, but it's more about, you have a kind of I don't know, a tree map or something, when you just go one line and then it's, goes into different directions, and then you know which direction will go, and you have more plans in place.
So did you do that before this crisis, or
Again,
is it
so we try to build systems, again, what I've said, I think, and when you know what's going to happen, if this works that way, then you go, you scale more the team. So for now, we are again scaling up the teams, and we're scaling up the sales, but on more enterprise level, rather than smaller companies. So in our case, enterprise are still going very good, and small companies are more fragile. So we just quickly jumped into another segment which we were operating, and now we added full focus there. And actually, apparently, it shows up. It's better rather than what we used to do. So sometimes those challenges encourages you unintentionally switch to a better position.
Okay.
So I think, in my opinion, I've been in all the, like you've been in all the world crisis. I think we've done every very important decisions within the company in every situation, like COVID. We are fundraising for Series A in COVID. So basically, we started that before the COVID, like 2 weeks in advance, and you know, it was very tough discussions, you know, actually, but yeah, you adjust during those times. So I think accepting those times is way better than ignoring them, and then you can plan and work through them. And I think the best plan is you have in mind is you need to be successful in what you're doing.
Darius, what changed in your planning or operation?
Every day, new changes, and we need to adapt every day. And yeah, in terms of the people, yeah, we hire more people to help us to overcome these challenges. So this is definitely, yeah, our team is the most important asset of our company. And yeah, but referring to what in other countries, yeah, it's a big layoffs, and so I think this is shows how is strong and how is mature already Lithuanian ecosystem. Our startups was not spoiled by investors, and yeah, I think yeah, all of us saw the picture movie We Crash.
Yeah.
So it's a good example how investors can spoil your company, and yeah, we are in very realistic situation for last, I think, 10 years. It was hard to get financing, a lot of bootstrap startups
And
in our
even
country,
unicorns?
and even unicorns. And this is a strength of our ecosystem. So why is yesterday so many investors into investor camp came from abroad to see, because they finally people start to understand. But yeah, we are unique ecosystem, really bootstrapped a lot, very strong, yeah, serious companies, yeah, no unrealistic bullshit, yeah, about, I don't know, future profits and future, I don't know, something. Guys doing real job every day, and yeah, when you are realistic, so this is your power, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to another topic. So, how relationship or power game between employer and employee have changed? Can you elaborate, maybe, Pijus?
I guess now it's easier to attract talent for most of the companies. And I would say, like, as many of the things, they're becoming like more normalized. So I think it's a healthy ratio now that we're having. Of course, there is a big need for talents to attract to Lithuanian companies and for startups here. But I think it's really getting healthier. And I guess, again, coming back to advantage of our country, that we're like really a lot of startups are bootstrapped. So I think it's really getting easier for us to gather teams and to grow. I think you see also it quite well.
Yeah, so in our case, I think we became way closer all together, like company and people. And we're becoming a real team with like full transparency, like, you know, guys, we're going against a big segment and we need to, you know, get there. And I think that makes people excited. And I think actually people, despite that, you know, at first it looks like very challenging and what's going to happen, but I think that also creates very good energy within people that they really want to go through it. And actually it gets a better output. And I think we all within the company are very much tied together, transparent with each other, like where we go, what we want to do, how we are going, what's the results, and etc. And I think that's very good spirit within the company to have. And then we really feel that, you know, we can go together, and we invested a lot of energy to build that, you know, synergy between the company and the people, and people are actually going after the vision, and we're explaining why we're going there, what's the benefit of that, and everyone knows why we're going into bigger market and why we're going after that vision, you know. So I think that's very much important to invest in current days into the spirit of the company and ecosystem itself.
As you already mentioned, all of you, that Lithuanian ecosystem is still growing. It's showing some really nice numbers. It's more resilient, and of course, percentage of GDP created by startups is growing every year. But what do you think? How startups themselves or ecosystem as a whole can contribute to Lithuanian economy? Any thoughts?
I think that this generation of startups, and I guess what was been happening, you know, for the last years, I think it sets like a really good new standard for whole economy, the standard of transparency. If we compare the businesses and the startups that you guys are doing or participating, and you compare to the businesses which been here, you know, 10 or 20 years ago, I think we really have much higher standards. We really share much more between each other. We do not compete between each other because like we're a really small market, and our advantage is that, you know, we need to go global. So we don't have competitors here. We only have, you know, partners or friends or colleagues whom we can share the knowledge and together fight for, you know, for the place in the world. So I guess it also works as an advantage for us. And by setting these standards, transparency standards, I think it really helps all the Lithuanian economy as a good example to follow. And I think a lot of companies are really inspired by the unicorns and other cases which we have in Lithuania.
And I think that's what you mentioned. I completely agree. I think it's very good that every even employee within the company, they know that we're friends with other companies, you know. So we're not going against each other and sharing the knowledge. I usually encourage our, you know, team members also to go, like, hey guys, go to like, you know, North Security, go to, you know, other company, just share the knowledge, you know, get from them, you know, they did it better, and maybe they can advise, you know, what to do, and they do, you know. So it's very, very nice. I think I even don't need to do intros, you know, like with the people. It's just connect together, and because they know that they need to share the information. And I think that's the beauty of it. And I think that's how we're going to succeed. And I love the quote of, I think it was used in Batman or something. I think everyone saw it. But when some people get, you know, somehow accept the darkness, but as they said, like, you know, we were born in it. And I think Lithuania was always in that darkness, and I think we can kind of feel it, and we're feeling okay with these turbulent times, and because they were more before, and there's going to be more in the future. So I think we get together and then we solve it together. So that's how we contribute to the country, and we share a lot, like through educational programs, which we encourage as a Unicorns organization, and we really help everyone who wants to get the help.
I think this startup movement, what is really a movement last 10 years, is the best what can happen, could happen in Lithuania. I think it's the best of the best, because new companies, new unicorns, people get decent salaries, options. It will be more and more millionaires, I think, every year, because of secondaries, investment rounds, and etc. So it's the best what can happen. We work on innovation. What I like very much also transparency. It's a new standard, because compared to all the economy companies, it's a next level of transparency, because of funds, rounds, investors, so they asking a lot of these transparent things, so governance, innovation, openness, collaboration. So I don't know, I do not see any bad things in this. I think it's the best what can happen, and I think but you can imagine what it will be in next 10 years.
But I think
Then all of you will do a new companies, raise new rounds, make a new success story. So can you imagine what happened? Because I saw what was 10 years ago. It was like 200 people in a room. This was ecosystem. Now we're talking about 18,000 people in Unicorns web. So you can imagine what it will be in 10 years. I hope. We will be 35 or 40,000, and it's 10 unicorns, and everybody will be.
And I think also the thing which we forget, I think, to say, like, I think that creates a bit different thing. So I remember going to the first conferences abroad, and for example, you go to US and you just go there and go, oh, I'm from Lithuania, and they're like, oh, Lithuania, what's that? So maybe if San Francisco say like, oh, Marčiulionis, because they used to play there, and oh yeah, I know Lithuania. Now you go there, you say, okay, do you know like Vinted, or do you know like NordVPN? Oh yeah, that's nice. So they're built in Lithuania, so that creates another energy, and then we now see people from US, other Western countries, flying into this event, and not only investors but also startups, and we are being recognized. So I think that's the beauty of it, and I can't imagine what's gonna happen in 10 years.
No,
really.
We're building a brand of our country. I think startups helps to build a brand of a country. So because you all probably know, Korea is built now on K-pop, Japan, all young generation know because of the anime, so I hope Lithuania will be known by startups. You need to, in a marketing it's very, very simple. You need to have something exceptional in order to build your brand. So why not is a startup?
And some technological change, steam machines were built in London and then United Kingdom, and I think technological change can happen actually from here, and we can be recognized in the books in 100 years that that we were some kind of also involved in that change.
Okay, so we dreamed a bit about the future, and for the last question, I want you all ask what you would advise to yourself if you could come back, like maybe 1.5 years back in time.
Can we say about stock investments?
No, maybe let's focus about your business.
I think make that decision. I don't know what kind of a decision I was making at that time. I just don't be afraid to make that decision, because I think everything turns out into a good way eventually. And I don't remember what tough decisions it was. I think there was plenty of decisions, and the hard ones and easy ones. I think just make that decision and then just do it as you feel it.
I think we work very hard, all of us. Probably also the Exit team works very hard, and what I feel, what during this, what hurts me most, team is really exhausted because you need to overcome all these challenges. So, and as a kind of a sportsman, I can say recovery is very important. So I would love to learn how to recover better and how to help my team to recover better, because in that time what really hurt us, not as a this crisis, but we are really feeling tired, and some people got sick and got flu and things like that, this is upsetting me a lot. And so recovery probably now is my number one challenge as a founder, as a human being. So do not forget to think about recovery.
Okay.
And I guess in our case, I wouldn't advise myself 1.5 years ago anything different that I would advise like now to myself. But I guess it not to forget that we're running a marathon, not a sprint. So it doesn't really matter if we have ups and downs within 1 or 2 years. And then I think it's important to remember that we don't need to outsmart the inflation or some global economy challenges and so on. We just need to constantly be better, improve, outsmart other players in the market, really become better. And it really doesn't matter if it's like economic situation is great or terrible. It doesn't matter. In the long term, it won't matter what happened within a half year. I think it really depends on what value are you creating now.
So to summarize, don't forget to improve yourself constantly, make that decision, and after that, recover.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you in next panel.
Thank you.